Can you feel the love tonight? There's love in the air going around over there with the 49ers. Listen, Nick Bosa gets snubbed off of another list. Don't know how important it is, but he's snubbed again. And there are new trade rumors. We're going to break that down right here on the WayneBreezie Show. It's Mock Draft Monday. Stick around. Let's get this party started, right?
Breezy this, breezy that. They know I'm gold-blooded. I got the Niners on my back, you know. Yeah. Breezy this, breezy that. Ain't nobody working like Breezy, and that's a fact.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Wayne Breezie. It's Monday. It's Mock Draft Monday. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to have you here as well. Let's get this week started off right. I hope you guys had an amazing Easter weekend. It was a long day yesterday. I'm a church guy, so I was in church pretty much the majority of the first half of the day. Spent time with the family, ate, did some research, did some homework, and went to bed really early. So Easter weekend was good. I hope you guys had a great Easter weekend out there as well. All right. Shout out to everybody out there. Let's give the morning shout outs to the Breezy's Bunch. Don't forget to hashtag the BB. Shout out to my man Eddie G's in the place to be. Good morning, faithful. Football can't get here fast enough. Love y'all. BB. Troy's in the building. Good morning, Breezy. Hashtag with the BB. Raphael 562. Good morning, Breezy, and everyone. I love it. My man Boss. Hashtag BB. What up, Niner fam? The only rumor we should be hearing is Trey is the starter. We never gonna hear that rumor, bro. And that better not be a rumor when we do hear it. On top of that, shout out to my man Mike Eng. Hashtag with the BB. Mike and Kim says, good morning, all. These rumors are just dumb. Trolls always click chasing. I feel you. Christy Marie's in the building. Morning, y'all. Hope everyone had a blessed Easter. Marty Marr, 49er Empire. Shout out to that text message you sent me, bro. What's good? Hashtag BB. VZ408 is in the building. Miss Debbie is in the building. Blessing to you, Wayne. Shout out to all the BBs out there this fine Monday morning. All right. My man Steve is in the building. Nothing better than the WayneBreezie Show on a Monday morning. Good morning, fam. Yo, it's funny because Steve put out this Steve is my graphic designer, right? And a good friend on top of that, right? And so I'm revamping like the YouTube channel. And so Steve put out this tweet and I was like, oh shoot. I quickly hit him up with a text. I'm like, hey man, we good, bro? Cause listen, it was all love. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate you. I love you, man. Cause I was about to have a bum Saturday. That junk was funny. PG's in PG's in the building. She says, good morning, everyone. Checking in. Hope everyone had a happy Easter weekend. Shout out to my Uncle Scott Hills in the building. What's up, Wayne and family? Hashtag with the BB. Ronnie 33. Hello to everybody. Everybody out there. Shout out to all the subscribers to the channel as well. One of the perks you get when you become a member of the Breezy Bunch is you get that good early morning shout out right there, splattered out there across the screen. Let's get through the formalities of the show. We'll get right down to the nitty gritty, all right? Make sure you guys are liking. Make sure you hit the like button on your way in. That's the thumbs up. You don't forget to comment in the section. Right now, we have the live comment chat going on. If you happen to watch this video a little bit later, leave a comment in the comment section. We'll love to know your thoughts, your feedback, anything like that. I promise we'll get a response. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you really love what you see, you like what you hear, you heard, go ahead and hit that join button, which is right there next to the emblem. All right, the little logo says join. Click on that joint, man. Become a member of the Breezy's Bunch today. today. All right. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast as well. It's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Spotify, it's on all that good stuff. All right. So make sure you guys go ahead and check it out. And I promise to my Patreon members, you will get exclusive content starting this week. All right. I've been down a little bit, been trying to figure out what new stuff I could come up and create. Everybody's out there doing their thing, but I got some stuff. I've been in the creative pool and I got some things I'm ready to put together for you guys out there. Shout out to everybody. If you're not a member of the Patreon, go ahead and join www.patreon.com/WayneBreezie. Don't forget to follow on Twitter at the WayneBreezie, as well as Instagram and Facebook at the WayneBreezie. And you can go shop today, www.twben.com/shop. All right, go ahead and get your shop on, man. Get some of that WayneBreezie apparel. I'm rocking the cash rules, everything around me. Cream, get the money, dollar bill, y'all. I'm rocking that hoodie right there. Shout out to Wu-Tang Clan. I'm kind of mad that the series ended last week. I'm a little bit upset with that. All right. For the latest in 49ers news, you can go to www.49erswebzone.com. Check out all the exclusive stories out there, as well as the breaking news from all your amazing 49er content writers out there. They're doing a tremendous job. I'm slacking. They're doing a great job. So keep up the great work, guys. Shout out to my man David out there, man, who's pumping out like a machine. Them stories be coming out. Them articles be coming out. But shout out to everybody out there. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let's have a great show. All right. I tell you what. It's Mock Draft Monday. I got some new things I kind of want to work in and tweak out with the mock draft. We'll get to that toward the end of the show. Don't forget to participate in the poll question. All right. And let's start off with the love that's in the air. Christian McCaffrey, this past before the weekend hit, I think it was on April 2nd, if I'm not mistaken, got engaged. He got engaged to the lovely Olivia Culpo, former Miss Universe. All right. And star of the Culpo sisters. Now, she's from Rhode Island, which is my side of the country. You know what I'm saying? It's like Rhode Island and Connecticut. It's super close, about an hour away, hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? But former Miss Universe in 2012, they got engaged. They've been dating for a while, and they got engaged. And I think that's so pretty. You know what I'm saying? I love love. You know what I mean? Love is good. The world needs more of it. And it was really cool to see them. Let me see if I got a little picture of them. There we go. Look at him getting on a bended knee. He probably see Christian look like he on his Boys to Men right there. You know what I'm saying? he's on his Boys to Men, down on bended knee, right? And then The Rock looked kind of dope, man. That looked like ladies. I don't know carrots. But that looked like a good 4 carat. That's a big rock. I can't tell you if it's one solid stone, but Christian McCaffrey, how much money Christian McCaffrey making, y'all? Like $15 million. You know what I'm saying? He getting it in. What's going on, Brandy? Brandy's in the building. What's going on, B? Yeah. So that's The Rock. I wonder who makes more money in the relationship. Is this going to be? You know what? Sim said that's the French cut. This is gonna be cool, right? Because I'm curious to know. She's a now TV content creating star. You know what I'm saying? She's huge. She's super famous. I wonder if this relationship is gonna kind of be like Tom Brady and the Giselle type of relationship. Like, you know what I'm saying? Who do you think is gonna be the breadwinner out of this relationship? Do you think it's going to be Olivia, or give me a thumbs up for Olivia, and I don't know, 2 thumbs up for Christian McCaffrey? I don't want to say thumbs down. They both going to be making money, but at the end of the day, I just want to know what you guys think. What's going on, Dion? Night of Game Podcast is in the building as well. Just curious to know in the chat. What do you guys think? Who's gonna be the breadwinner? Because Christian is making a pretty damn good bank right now. You know what I'm saying? Pretty good bank. All right, Chrissy's going with C-Mac. You know, Paul's going with C-Mac. Miss Debbie is going with Olivia. I like the way you think. I truly do. Christopher's going with C-Mac as well. Scott Hill. Now this is 4. So is that double on the C-Mac? You doubling down on the C-Mac, Uncle Scott? You know what I'm saying? Just curious to know. But listen, nonetheless, it doesn't really matter. They're in love, and that's cool. I'm so happy for these two. I love when we talked about Fred Warner and when he got his engagement and then he got married. I can't wait till we look. Raj and Olivia easily. Look, Olivia easily. See, I knew there was going to be some type of reasoning, and then here comes the context by Miss Debbie. This is what I'm talking about, right? Her career has more longevity. She put the straight up context in there. Christian McCaffrey probably has about 3-4 more years. It's so weird, right? It's just the way the running back position is. They get banged up the most. And I'm hoping we can get them years with San Francisco. We need to get Christian McCaffrey a Super Bowl ring. That would be really cool if we can get him a Super Bowl ring. But again, Olivia, Christian, congratulations. Round of applause to these two out there. See? Super simple, right? Super simple. Look, I done figured out how to add Google Slides to my presentation right here on StreamYard. So we about to have some fun in the sun, even though it's cold outside. So let's talk about the next thing. I want to talk about Nick Bosa. Now, is Nick Bosa? Now, I know this is a 49ers show, so I expect all the biases to come out right now. But is Nick Bosa the best defensive end in football? And there's only one answer. And at the end of the day, in 2023, I mean, didn't this gentleman win Defensive Player of the Year? So not only was he the best defensive end in football, he was also the best damn defensive player in football. There's like not even a question, right? Best defensive player in football. And I know people are like, well, what is Breezie talking about? Listen, I tell you what, there's this list that came out this past weekend. Now, I'm happy about the list. You dig? I mean, look, there's 3 49ers up there. Funny, too, how there are also 3 Kansas City Chiefs on this list. Now, this is per at the line of scrimmage off of Instagram. Okay. Now I gotta pull up some of y'all messages. Kali saying, hell yeah. What kind of question is that? You know what, Kali? I'm only asking the question because apparently there's some people out there that sleep underneath a whole bunch of rocks and boulders and shoulders and things like that to where they getting it twisted. Because I don't understand how this guy isn't necessarily labeled the best defensive end in football after winning the best defensive player in football. I'm confused. I'm buffeted. I don't understand. I don't get it. All right. Jerry saying yes and yes, even with all the hate. I love it. Paul, number 97, defensive player of the year. I mean, yeah. Right. All right. So let's look at the list. All right. So quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, running back, Christian McCaffrey. We get the thumbs up for that. Wide receiver, Justin Jefferson. Tight end, Travis Kelce. I'll give Travis Kelce the best tight end in football. It is what it is. Okay, I'll give him that. All right. I'm getting to it, though. Offensive lineman, period. They ain't even care if the offensive lineman had a position. It didn't matter if you were a tackle. It didn't matter if you were a guard. It didn't matter if you were the center. If you were an offensive lineman, Trent Williams got the best player. All right. Now we're going down to the defensive line. Let me see if I can make myself a little bit, you know what? Y'all can't see it. So let me go ahead and do this. Let me take off the border because I want y'all to see what the hell is going on here. Okay. All right. So now we're getting down to the defensive line portion. Chris Jones, best defensive lineman. You know what? In my opinion, he was the best. My second favorite was Javon Hargrave. Go figure. But we'll give it to Chris Jones. He was the man. All right. I'm going to skip over that one. Fred Warner, linebacker. Not even an argument. No doubt. Best linebacker in football, can cover, can stop the run, can predict what offenses are going to do. He's just the greatest out there right now, right? Nobody's seeing Fred Warner. Cornerback, a rookie, right? Or am I wrong? Was Sauce Gardner a rookie last year? Last time I checked, I thought he got drafted. You know what I'm saying? And his first year was last year. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But you know, it don't effing matter. He was a problem. He was a problem. Not only was he a problem, Sauce Gardner gives me primetime vibes. Primetime vibes. What do I mean by that? I mean, he talks his talk and then he backs it up. Sauce Gardner, New York Jets got a real one with Sauce Gardner. Matter of fact, Sauce Gardner is keeping Robert Saleh's coaching career alive. What a pick. What a pick. And then Minkah Fitzpatrick, I would say, was the best safety in football. And I shout out to everybody that's saying that he was a rookie. Shout out to Mose. Appreciate that. I thought he was, but it's just amazing. Got one rookie on this list. Now, let's go ahead and scroll on back. Scroll on back to that defensive end position. Because I don't get it. Now, listen. Y'all know, first of all, y'all know I love football, right? And y'all know I got some favorite players that just aren't on the 49ers. And Micah Parsons is one of my favorite players. He that dude. I ain't even going to stunt. He that dude. Let's just keep it a buck. If you're a Dallas Cowboy fan and you're watching this show, Micah Parsons is that dude. Y'all got a real one. But how the hell is the best defensive player in the game not on this list? How is it that Nick Bosa still gets no respect? I'm just curious. And people probably like, damn, Breezy, why you making something out of nothing? I'm not making nothing out of nothing and something and whatever you're trying to say. I'm best NF. Let me make sure I can read this right. Where my Zennies? I don't know where they at. They somewhere around here. Best NFL player per position for next season via, that's what that bar kind of like stand for, at the line of scrimmage. I think the list is spot on until you get to the defensive end position, because I'm trying to figure out how Parsons is better than Nick Bosa. I don't get how anybody can vote the potential of a player being better after a player just finished winning the Defensive Player of the Year. I never in my entire life seen so much disrespect. And I know it sounds like I'm whining, but ask me if I care. This is the WayneBreezie show. I've never seen so much disrespect in my entire life. Every year, Aaron Donald won that award. He was the best defensive player in the league. Correct? Ain't nobody question it. Not one 49er fan, not one fan from any other team in that division. Not one fan in the NFL questioned Aaron Donald being the best defensive player in football. And I know he's not on this list. Chris Jones is. That's why I said, arguably to me, Chris Jones was 1. I think Javon Hargrave was 2. Aaron Donald, number 3. You dig? But it could be interchangeable. I don't know. At some point, I'm trying to figure out, like, when it comes to the San Francisco 49ers, I'm trying to understand, like, why are we shaded so much? Like, why? Like, and you know what? For me, I feel like, oh, is this what this was? Is that what this was? Okay, so You're Right came in with a possible solution. Okay, all right, saying 3 max players per team. And again, I told you that the 49ers and Chiefs were tied with max players. Now, this is no shade to Christian McCaffrey. No shade whatsoever. But was he the best running back in the league last year? I mean, Josh Jacobs had a year, right? Could we argue, and if it's a 3 max player rule year, right? I'm with you. But could we argue that maybe they could pick a different running back? Maybe I thought Josh Jacobs might have been the best running back in football last year. And y'all know, some people, look, all right, in the chat right now, since we're talking about this list, Nick Bosa getting snubbed, who was the best running back in the NFL last year? I'm going to post them up. John says Austin Eckler. Hey, I know it's for next season. I know it's going into next season, but in order to go into next season, you got to base it off of what they did last year, CB, right? right? Don't you got to go off of the trajectory of how they finished last year? I'm not saying that CMC wasn't. I'm just saying I feel like if it's a max 3-player rule, right? If it's a max 3-player rule, I feel like you can shift. I feel like the Christian McCaffrey one would be most arguable or argumentative. And then, like, there should not even be a question about who the best defensive end in football. So all right. So if we're talking, look, everybody's saying Josh. I thought it was just me. Like, we need to make sure we get this show put out. I'm gonna make sure I put this out because I want people to see that 49er fans aren't homers. Because look at all the Josh Jacobs, and we can't stand the Raiders. You feel me? All right, Don't Bother Me says McCaffrey is in the beat position going into next year. Listen, no doubt. But then you have those fans from the other teams that's going to argue that, why Josh Jacobs isn't if he was the best running back last year, or the Derrick Henry running backs fans, listen, I'm all cool with Christian McCaffrey being on this. How can we, and look at nobody mention him? Why not? There you go. Right? Why is nobody mentioning Saquon Barkley? I feel like them were your top 3 running backs, right? Barkley, McCaffrey, Josh Jacobs, then a little Austin Eckler, and then Nick Chubb will probably be my 5th to cap it off. That's just me. I felt like they all could do some things. All right, slide that junk back down. We got to finish this cap up. We got to finish this segment. So let's talk about who the best defensive ends in football. Now, a lot of people feel like Micah Parsons is an outside linebacker, but in that 3-4 type of defense, for whatever they run in Dallas, he plays on the end. He does. He plays pretty much everywhere they asked him to play. That's why I feel like he's that dude. But how do you overlook Nick Bosa? And at some point, here's what I get. Nick Bosa gets overlooked, overshadowed, right? He doesn't get penalty calls. So how about going into next season? Are you telling me Nick Bosa is going to take a decline? Is it because he's going to get paid? Possibly. Maybe that's what this list is off about because it is going into next season. I want everybody to know that. But I don't see Patrick Mahomes taking a decline. I don't see Justin Jefferson taking the decline. I don't see Travis Kelce taking the decline, even though I think George Kittle going to beat him this year. But there are other tight ends out there. Trent Williams, no. Chris Jones, I would arguably say, hey, he was best last season. I don't feel like Aaron Donald's going to slouch off. And y'all better look out for Javon Hargrave, former Philadelphia Eagle. So going into next season, no one had more pressures than Javon Hargrave, yet he not on this list. Fred Warner, okay. Sauce going to be the best damn DB in football for the next 10 years. He just is. It's just what it is. All right. But do you guys feel like Nick Bosa got snubbed or off of this list? You know what I'm saying? That's the question. It's just like, dang, like how much more does Nick Bosa have to do? Led the league in sacks last year. Led the league in sacks. Like, right? Like single sacks, guys, not the total team sacks, but led the league. Right. And then finish with Defensive Player of the Year. How does that not preface you going into next season as the best? I think that is my issue with this list. So you could say Micah Parsons can be projected to be best, but how is he not already second to Nick Bosa? That's my question. How is everybody else is? So how is it that he's not second to Nick Bosa? I guess that's my question. If you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, there ain't no hate toward Micah Parsons. I think he's that dude. But come on, man. Even Dallas Cowboy fans would say that Nick Bosa the best damn defensive player in the year. We got some snubs. I got you. We got some snubs. Shout out to everybody out there. We got some snubs. Eddie G says, WayneBreezie, just watch the combo of Gravedigger and Bosa does to this league. That's a whole different list, right? You want to talk about killer instinct combos? That's going to be my thing for all next season. I'm going to be a killer combo. Every time they do something, killer combo, 35 hits, killer. But listen, Nick Bosa needs to start getting his credit. I mean, what else does he have to do? Get a Super Bowl ring? Does Micah Parsons have a Super Bowl ring? Do any of the defensive ends that are the top defensive ends in the league have Super Bowl rings? Mm-mm. Anyway, just thought I'd bring that to y'all attention just in case you guys were sleeping under a rock this this past weekend. We got one more thing I want to get into. It's gonna be the preface of today's show. And all right, so here we go. There's a Trey Lance rumor going on right now from NFL Notify via Twitter. Now, it's a rumor. Now, let me preface the stuff that's going on down here because everybody is like, what? What you mean a rumor? It's not a rumor. No, it's a rumor. Rumors are things people make up based off of what they feel like they have. Some people have sources. Shout out to all the contributions that are coming into as well. I promise I'm going to get to those at a specific segment. I just want to get through this, all right? So let's get to the Trey Lance rumors. And here it is. Rumors, 49ers are willing to trade quarterback Trey Lance in exchange for a 2023 second and a 4th round pick in 2023. All right. Then they go on to say Lance has only played 262 snaps in the last 2 seasons. San Francisco is ready to move on to Purdy, Darnold, error. Okay. Now, you guys follow me on Twitter. You already know that my response to this was I was cracking the fuck up. I was giving the funniest laugh I could do because when I hear about the Trey Lance trade rumors, there's only now how much validity to this is valid, I don't know. But I do feel like John Lynch will pick up the phone and listen to a trade offer. Can we all agree that is something that 9.9 times out of 10 happens for any player? There's not a player that's untouchable in the NFL. Okay, there's not a player that's untouchable in the NFL. But when I'm looking at this particular rumor that came out, I'm trying to piece everything together and how things are calculated and things like that. Now, I personally don't feel like the 49ers will trade Trey Lance for that. That ain't enough. A 2nd round and a 4th round pick just isn't enough. Now, if the 49ers set that as their benchmark, and now they're waiting to see what teams are trying and willing to do, that's different. But I just think that's too little. And I got 3 reasons why the 49ers won't trade Trey Lance. 3 reasons, all right? And you guys can agree to disagree, but that's the rumor that's going out there. Here's my rumor. Whoever keeps making these rumors will be banned from Twitter. I don't know. I'm going to find it. Because at the end of the day, it just doesn't make sense. All right. Leslie did chime in. She says, yeah, Lynch will always answer the phone and listen to an offer. It's just true. It doesn't matter if he's in Mass. It doesn't matter where he is. If that phone rings, he's going to pick it up. Now, right. So I want people to understand that there may be a team that's dumb enough to offer 1st round pick. Now, again, if this rumor is true, it's a rumor, right? If this rumor is true, that 2nd and 4th round pick there's probably more to it. Meaning that they're probably like those type of picks that can be bumped up if a player sees their field to where, like, if Trey Lance plays 10 out of the majority of the games, or if he starts, then it'll possibly move up to a 1st round pick, and then that 4th round pick can move up to a 3rd round pick or something like that. That's kind of like what if I'm John Lynch, like that's kind of like what I'm doing now. Like I said, here's my 3 reasons why this wouldn't make sense for the San Francisco 49ers. Now, I know a lot of people feel like I have been trying to move on from Trey Lance. No, it's not what I'm doing. But what I do want is, what's best for the team. I just want a mother freaking championship. The only reason why I would move on from Trey Lance is if I feel like I have what I need in camp ready to go right away, and Trey Lance isn't going to see the time of day, so I might as well get something for him. All right. Now, here's the first thing. The first thing is the cost. What they spent to acquire, to move up in a draft for Trey Lance, the cost and the return on the investment, the ROI. Welcome to Business 101 with your boy Breezie. The ROI. All right, so they spent, you can say 3 first-round picks, right? 2 first-round picks. This is the last of the first-round picks. And then the year that Trey Lance was drafted, it was a swap of first-round picks with the Miami Dolphins. Now, hear me out. The 49ers could be essentially saying, well, we only spent 2 first-round picks. Well, 1, because the Dolphins lost a first-round pick, so they lost the 49ers pick this particular year due to whatever infringement of whatever they did, blah, 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 all that good stuff. So maybe the 49ers will be like, all right, well, if we look at it, we only really lost 1 first-round pick. But again, the 49ers lost 2 first-round picks plus the swap of first-round picks the year that they traded for Trey. So that is expensive as F. Now, the return on the investment, a 2nd and a 4th round pick for what you gave up doesn't even come close to equating. Here's my thing. Why would you trade a player if he hasn't done anything to make you the return on the investment? Now, here's my second reason. This is why Trey Lance can't give you a better return on your investment. He got injured. And at the end of the day, why are we factoring in injuries to anything? Okay? Now, do you want to move on from an injured player? That's one thing. But do you have to move on from the injured player? Absolutely not. Look at the way the 49ers are set up. They have 2 quarterbacks on rookie year deals, right? That's not costing them a lot of money to where they can continue to build and stack their roster and pay these specific pillar type of positions. Your left tackle, your tight end, your linebacker, a cornerback. You're paying these pillars, right? The things that keep the organization up, standing, strong. You're paying them. You're getting them at their premium because you don't have to spend on a quarterback position. So if they trade Trey Lance, essentially, they're going to be moving off from that rather quickly, right? Fairly quickly. Now, I would say Brock Purdy isn't costing them a fraction. He's only costing them a fraction of what they got to pay Trey Lance because he was a 7th round pick. But again, that to me is narrowing that window because you're still relying on Brock Purdy to be healthy. Now, you did sign Sam Darnold, all right, to a relatively cheaper type of a quarterback deal, kind of like a prove-it deal, an incentive-based type of a deal where his base pay is low, but he can make up to $11 million or something like that. I can't remember the number off the top of my head. But at the end of the day, they have the cheapest quarterback room, in my opinion, on the books. I could look it up, and they got the cheapest quarterback room on the books. That is why the 49ers can continue to build for the championship. So if you move Trey, you remove one of those rookie type of quarterbacks, right, on them deals, and now how are you going to continue to build? Because at some point, you got to pay a quarterback. So I just don't feel like they want to do that. They shouldn't do that. On top of that, they don't even know what they got in the kid yet. He hasn't played enough football to show you what he has, which leads me to my third reason why they don't want to trade him, because that kid has potential through the roof. Now, I know potential can only get you so far, but at the end of the day, we watched Trey Lance do 2 things. You ready? He did 2 things to the NFL. 2 things. You ready? Number 1, this is what he does for the 49ers. That's what I meant to say. Number 1, he stretches the field. What the hell does that mean? He can throw the ball down the field. So he does. He get the ball down the field. Trey Lance is looking to get actually, when Trey Lance drops back, he's looking to get the ball down the field. If Kyle Shanahan calls a play to where Trey Lance can drop back instead of all these short-ass pass plays. That's what he's doing. He's looking to get the ball down the lane. He's looking for the home run ball. He feels like he has the accuracy and he has the arm strength and he has the vision. And if it's play action, if it's one guy, he's throwing it to a spot. The guy goes and gets the ball. Bam, bada boom, bada bing, bing, bam, bam, boom. That's one thing. The second thing he does is he forces defenses to play honest football. Well, Breezie, how do you know? Because they're not stacking the box when he's out there. Now, he didn't play out there for too long, only 266 total snaps. But at the end of the day, it doesn't make sense to move on from a kid with all this potential. There's only one reason, or one opportunity that might pop up to where you trade Trey Lance, and the price tag, like Jesse J, has to be high. I mean, really high. Really high. And so getting a second round pick, getting a fourth round pick, these are two picks that the 49ers don't have in the draft, to me doesn't equate to what Trey Lance can become. So you got to ask yourself this, right? And Mike has a question. Mike Nichols, great question. Why is Lance worth the second and the fourth? What has he done in the league in 3 years? Again, Mike, he's done much of nothing. Why? He hasn't had the ability to play because he got injured. All right, let's go back to Trey Lance rookie year. It was Jimmy's team. Remember? There was no quarterback competition. What's going on, Fernando? It was Jimmy's team, okay? And that was that. So Trey Lance, year one, zero development. That ain't Trey Lance's fault. The coach didn't want to play him. Fine, cool, no problem. Year two, he was getting the keys to the range, baby. And unfortunately, week 2 of year 2, he breaks his freaking ankle. At the end of the day, he can't develop because he broke his ankle. Whose fault was that? Hey, man, you can blame Kyle Shanahan. Why? Because he made him run up the middle. You get where I'm going with this? It's not Trey Lance's fault that he has not had the ability to stay on the field. Nobody was asking Trey Lance to slide in that particular situation because it was just a bam run play. It wasn't like it was a run for 9 yards and then he took the slide and got hit late. No, it was literally like a quarterback design run up the middle and a certain block wasn't made and he still ran that way. And next thing you know, this guy's landing on him backwards. At the end of the day, he hasn't done nothing, to answer your question, Mike, to negate that. But that's why I would play the game if I'm the Niners, right? Oh, you want Trey Lance? Cool. All right. So I paid 3 firsts. I tell you what, give me a first this year. Give me a second next year and a third a year after that. Make the joint super high. If people believe in Trey Lance, make that joint high. I'm the type of person that if I'm ever going to sell something and I don't really want to sell it, I would mark that junk so high, ain't nobody gonna pay this. Am I the only person that does that? Ain't nobody gonna pay this. You want these sneakers? All right, man. Give me $1,000 for them. I don't really want to get rid of them, but if you're willing to pay $1,000, I'd be dumb not to listen, right? And so that's kind of like I think where it is. I think the actual trade numbers out there, I think if this is what the 49ers are asking for, the second and the fourth, I think they have the contingency to move up if Trey Lance performs well. I think there's going to be some incentives based into that to where those picks move up to a first or whatever. But it can't even do that because this year. Apparently, these picks are for this particular draft upcoming. Trey Lance to me has potential. I don't know if you want to move on from that, especially when you haven't seen it. If you saw the potential and Trey Lance and it was underdeveloped, that's different. But what the hell has Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch seen more than what we've seen? We've probably seen more than them. And they there. At the end of the day, Trey Lance, in my opinion, won't be traded because whatever they're asking for, whatever they're looking for in a trade, no team is going to be dumb enough willing to pay it. And if I'm the 49ers, it would be a dumb move to move on from a quarterback that has so much potential. Trey Lance is taking strides into developing himself. You guys ever see the movie, what's that movie, Major League with Serrano? I remember he used to pray to the thing. I don't know if it was whatever it was. He used to pray to it. And at the end of the movie, He just was striking out, right? Big power hitter, couldn't hit home runs. He kept striking out. What did he say at the end of the movie? He said, F you, Jubo. I do it myself. And then he hit a home run. I feel like that's the lane Trey Lance is in right now. Trey Lance is like, you know what? They ain't developed me. I'm going to go out here and get myself and work on my own self-development. How is he doing that? He's working out with the best quarterback in the league. Y'all just saw the list. He's working out with the best quarterback in the league. Who's the best quarterback in the Patrick Mahomes? Hands down. Best damn quarterback. Fuck you, Joe. Oops, I didn't mean to say that. My bad. But I get excited when I talk about movies. Yeah, I'll do it myself. Trey Lance will not get traded. The 49ers aren't that silly. Now, if it happens, oh well, smack me in the face and call me Susan. I just don't feel like that's something that the 49ers want to do. They're built to win now, and they're set up to win in the future, especially if all their quarterbacks developed. Loved everything that Brock Purdy has done for this team, number one. But number two, he's hurt, and he's recovering from an injury, and we don't know what he's going to be like. You have a healthy Trey Lance in camp right now. That was your number one starting quarterback last season, so you owe this kid that opportunity to go out there and do it again. You believed in him once. I don't know what was going to make you not believe in him again, especially if you don't have that miracle waiting for you to happen. Brock Purdy is not healthy yet, and until he is, you have to rock with what you got. I do understand that they signed Sam Darnold. Hopefully he could be some type of a contingency plan for the San Francisco 49ers, but I'll say this, the 49ers, in my opinion, if they keep Trey Lance and don't trade Trey Lance, they have 3 starting quarterbacks on their roster. Not one of them is necessarily a backup, but they all can play the backup role. Trey Lance was the backup to Jimmy Garoppolo. Sam Darnold was the backup to whoever he was the backup to for however many teams he played for. He was a backup in Carolina. He was a starter his rookie season in New York Football Jets. He was a backup. Brock Purdy, backed up Jimmy, backed up Trey. They all have the backup experience along with the starting experience. You don't trade starting quarterbacks unless the price is high or the price is right. Maybe I should say that. No pun intended. Guys, I know there's a lot of stuff going on out there. I want to get through the super chat that came in so far. But before we do super chats, shout out to Forever Bless. Is that my boy Makoa? I believe. Forever Bless became a YouTube member, man. I appreciate you. If this is you, which I do believe it is, are you like a senior now? High school? Wow, time is flying. Oh, man. But thank you so much for becoming a member of the Breezie's Bunch. We appreciate you out there, baby. We got some super chat segments we definitely want to get to before we get into the mock draft. All right. So stay pat. Don't go nowhere. We're going to get through these. And we got a couple from my man, Sean. Actually, let's go with his first one. He says, so we were talking about CMC and Olivia, and Sean with the super chat contribution. Here's the foghorn for both of them. Olivia is taller than him. He looks up to her. So we were talking about who's going to be like the breadwinner in the relationship, all that good stuff. And Sean wanted to let everybody know that Olivia is taller. Is she taller with the heels on, dog? I'm just curious. They look about the same height to me in the picture. And the second contribution is the best use of the Trader logo is to wipe it, or is to wipe with it. I still smell their trash whenever I go to the East Bay. Own what a round of honey buckets are? I don't know what that is. The Trader's executive offices. I don't even know what honey buckets are, but I'm sure you'll find a way to tell me what they are or whatnot. But Sean, thank you for the super chat contributions. I appreciate you, family. Tommy's in the building. He says, just to reiterate, Burp, Funyuns, and Karen Frogers. I don't even know what that is, but you do. Thumbs down, and thank you for the super chat contribution. I appreciate you. It's a porta potty. Seriously? No, I've never heard of that. Oh well. It hit me slower than what it should have. believe it or not. All right. Thank you guys for the super chats. I do appreciate that. Before we get to the mock draft of the episode, do you believe in the Trey Lance trade rumors? That's the poll that's going on right now. I'm going to go ahead and end it so we can focus on this mock draft. I actually want to spend a little bit of time on it. If you guys can stick around with your boy Breezy. All right. And do you guys believe in the rumors? And the majority, there were three choices. It was somewhat yes and hell to the no, right? Those were your three choices. And with 63%, you guys said hell to the no. And I'm with you. Because there's no reason.
Bye, Felicia.
To agree with it. I mean, look, it's a rumor. There are going to be rumors about Trey Lance. It is what it is. He's the kind of like quarterback that they want to make you think he's expendable. Okay? They want you to feel Trey Lance is expendable. And I don't believe Kyle Shanahan wants to move on from Trey Lance. Maybe John Lynch does, but Kyle Shanahan surely doesn't. Thanks for participating in the poll question. Let's go ahead and get this mock draft going on. Look at here. All right, so first time I'm going to do this draft simulator, and I changed up some of the parameters. All right, public versus the PFF board, care for positional value. I'm going to kind of bump that up because at this point, I don't think the 49ers care for positional value, and I don't think they're drafting for need either. So I'm going to bump that up. But you know what? I can't do that for everybody because this is a 49ers thing. So I'm going to kind of change the parameters just a little bit. We're going to draft all the players. It's mock draft Monday. This is mock draft 8.0. Now, what I'm going to do is put out, the mock draft. I'm going to put all the selections up on Instagram with a little video clip of their highlights and things that they've done. Now, I don't think the 49ers are going to trade up. And using PFF, it's hard to trade up because you don't know like the pool of players to where you want to stop. You got to kind of like pay attention. So I'm going to leave everything as is. We're going to draft all of our 11 picks. All right. And I've started to draft. And I mean, I can easily pause it, but again, I won't be able to see all the players that are still going to be available. Now, which position do I think or do I feel, appreciate you, Chris Bean, that the 49ers are going to draft? And so it's all, listen, I don't feel like the 49ers are looking at a specific position. They have players on their big board, and they're going to go after, to me, in my opinion, those best players. So if they're there, be prepared. It doesn't matter if they're a safety, tackle, a guard, running back, interior. It doesn't matter. The position no longer matters. Now, when I'm looking at the 49ers and I'm saying to myself, dang, I did my the 49ers have 65 players on their current roster. All right. I've done my depth chart homework. Okay, so I got my depth chart homework, and I'm saying if I had to pick a position, to me, which position is the one that, to me, is the weakest? All right, so let me go ahead and get my notes out. And which position do I feel like is the weakest for the 49ers? Now, which position do you guys feel like is the weakest for the 49ers? And don't forget, I mean, put it in the chat. I just want to see what you guys got. And I'm going to go with the safety position. And people are like, why are you going to go with the safety position? Because when I'm looking at the depth of the safeties, I don't know if they're going to be able to get the same quality of play at the safety position. Now, some people may feel like it's the cornerbacks. Some people may feel like it's the tackles. I see my man Drill saying right tackle, right tackle, right tackle, right tackle. The only reason why I disagree with the right tackle position being the weakest is because sometimes your strength in numbers. I don't know if you guys believe in that. And so when I look at the 49ers and I say to myself, man, last year they had two new pieces like on the offensive line, right? You had a starting center in Jake Brendel. You had your left guard and three new pieces, right? And Aaron Banks, he was new. I don't care if he was on the team. He never played before with the 49ers. And then you had your right guard rookie Spencer Burford starting. So that's three new pieces, okay? You know what I'm saying? Interchanging into the offensive line. So for me, I feel like this year's only one. And I feel like with bringing back these other pieces, like those four pieces are going to help strengthen this one. And so even if it is Colton McKivitz or they may draft a guy, it could be that. Now, I see my man Kyron said, yes, safety. But then here's another one, edge. Scott Alexander feels like it's the edge position. And that's another weak spot. That's my second weak spot. I'm glad you said that. So to me, it's safety, it's edge. Now, the 49ers necessarily don't draft safeties early. So as I'm looking at this board, I'm like, oh, man, do I want to draft who I feel like is the best player available? Because I'm looking at it. I got 3 picks, literally back to back to back, 3 picks, right? And I'm like, dang, what do we need? What do I want? And so I'm going to draft what I feel like the 49ers may do. They may change up the game a little bit, all right? Because when I look at the safety position, it's Talanoa Hufanga starting at the strong safety, and backing him up is going to be Taylor Hawkins. And then when I look at the free safety, it's Deshaun Gibson, and backing him up is going to be George Odom. Now, we like to have George Odom around because he's a great special teams player, right? So you want to have him around. He makes it a little bit bigger so you guys can see it, all right? But question is, there's some safety. So I'm going to look at the safety positions. Now, I'm going to be putting out my top 5 safeties. I'm going to break it down as free and as well as strong. So there's 10 different safeties you're going to get. And I'm looking at and I'm seeing at who's on this list. And right now they have Anthony Johnson Jr. here, who ADP has him going at around pick 150. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like disagree with that. Now, look, I was watching film on this kid, and he gives me Jimmy Ward vibes. So if you want a playmaking guy, a ball hawking guy, plus a person that can tackle as well, he's right there on the board. Jair Brown is there. Christopher Smith. Here's a kid that they looked at, Marte Mapu. All right, so maybe I won't go safety here. Maybe I'll go edge. So I feel like the first 2 positions I'm going to address is safety and edge. Now, they got Carl Brooks up here as the best edge guy. Again, if you draft him, you could utilize him in the interior. I just feel like far as edge, I see some guys I like. There's my man Yaya Diaby. He's a speed guy, so I saw someone in the chat say they wanted to get somebody with a bunch of speed out there. You could get the big fella and Mike Morris. All right, if you're trying to reach, you want a strong guy, a guy that's not going to get pushed around, that can win his battles at the line of scrimmage. That'll be Mike Morris out of Michigan. The speed guy would be Yaya. Jose Ramirez has like that best overall package. Valami Fihoko, great. He would be a great addition to the 49ers. So I don't even know if I want to go edge here. And I'm looking at best player available. All right. I know we're gonna draft a tackle, so I'm cool with that. Why? Because Trent Williams is getting a little bit older, and again, you guys are saying that the tackle position is pretty much. So I'm gonna go with the tackle first. I'm gonna go with Wanya Morris, tackle out of Oklahoma, and then I'm gonna kind of like see who's still available. All right. So I went offensive line with Wanya. All right. Now, I feel like I want to address the defensive line. There are a few safeties that I like. So Anthony Johnson is one. I do want to go corner here. So people are going to be like, why are you going corner? Now, before I go corner, let me look at the tight ends. I need to see which tight ends are available. I don't care where they ranked. None of that matters to me. All right. There are 2 tight ends on this list, 3 tight ends, Davis Allen, Zach Kuntz, and Payne Durham. Those would be the guys that I would like for the 49ers to get. And you know what? I'm going to have to reach here. It's the 3rd round, and I'm going to have to reach. If I want a tight end, if I want one of these tight ends, I'm going to have to make a move. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to get a tight end with my 3rd position. And I think think I may be able to get a safety a little bit later on in the draft because I feel like the 49ers aren't going to draft the safety to 5th or 6th round. So I know I'm passing up on these guys and things like that, but I do want to address the edge. As much as I like Carl Brooks, I don't know if he'll be a great fit for the 49ers. I do like Velimi Fihoko, so I'm going to go ahead and draft this kid on the edge. And then I'm going to turn around and get a tight end. And the question is, do I get Davis Allen out of Clemson or do I get the athletic Zach Kuntz out of Old Dominion? And so that's kind of like where it's going to come down. And I'm going to get the athletic guy. The one thing that we love about George Kittle is the fact that he can block, he can run, he can do jump, he can catch, he can do all these things. Well, if you want to complement that and have somebody sort of similar but a little bit different, you go grab Zach Kuntz. Those are my first 3 picks, guys. All right, let me know if you guys give me a thumbs up on the first 3 picks or if you give me a thumbs down on the first 3 picks. I went Wanye, offensive tackle Wanye Morris from Oklahoma with my first pick. The second pick, I went Velimi Fihoko out of, what's the school? I want to say San Jose State. And then I went with, and look, Anthony Johnson Jr. is still there at 155. The question is, do I want the Jimmy? And then I got a tight end, Zach Kuntz. Thank you. He says I'm thumbs down on the Motown Philly pick. I love it. Anthony Johnson Jr. is here again out of Iowa State. Did I go? I didn't go corner. Oh man, I thought I went corner. I'm bugging. Oh well. Let me see who I picked my 3 picks. Do they let me scroll all the way back up? I thought I went corner. I meant to. Oh, well, not in this draft. I went wide. Oh, I was going to go corner. Yep. All right. So I went tackle, edge, tight end. No problem. There's some corners that I like a little bit later in the draft anyway. All right. Now, it's 5th round. I feel like we're going to get a safety here. There are 2 guys at the safety position that I see that I could snatch up. There's 3 guys. Daniel Scott is another player as well. And since there's a few safeties at this particular position, here's Kytrell Clark. This is one of the undersized DBs that they actually brought in for a visit. We're in the 5th round. I'm going to go with an interior guy on the defensive line. I got a chance to watch some stuff out of San Diego State. Jonah Tavai, I think that's how you say his name. One of them safeties is going to be there at 164. So this is why I'm going to go with the interior guy, all right? You want a person that could come in here and give some time off for some of these interior guys. This is the kid. I really like this kid out of San Diego State. Again, the full breakdown I'll be doing this week for the Patreon, so I'll go ahead and break some of these players down. Again, safeties available. So I'm going to go look at these safeties, okay? You're wrong, Sean. I see you out there, Sean. Now, you're going to be funny because there's 4 of these guys, 3 of these guys are in my top, at least 2 of them are in my top 5 free safeties. Daniel Scott, Jason Taylor out of Oklahoma State. All right, another kid. I do like the fact that they brought in Marte Mape, who could also play linebacker. So I'm trying to think, like, do the 49ers want to go that route? Do they want to draft, like, the overall, like, better player, like that can play multiple positions? Or did they want to get them a nice free safety in like Daniel Scott, right? High rise grade, everything like you can get in Daniel Scott out of Cal. So I'm kind of stuck between the 2. If I don't see any linebackers that I like and Marte is still available, I'll possibly go back and try to get Marte. Or do I draft him now? It's so tough, right? It's so tough. Keaton Mitchell, here's a running back nobody's talking about. He screams San Francisco 49ers. Larry Krueger was talking about him last week on the show. This is a kid that screams he's a 49er, man. So, again, I don't think the 49ers are going to draft a running back between the 5th. They may get one in the 3rd. I could be wrong. I just don't know if I'm going to go Marte or am I going to go Daniel Scott. All right? That I'm not sold on. I feel you, Sam. I feel he hasn't done enough. It's tough, right? So I'm going to go Daniel Scott. I'm going to get me a safety, get me a free safety out there, a guy that could play center field. And look, he's still on the board. Isn't that crazy? All right, listen, we've addressed the safety position. We got a free safety. I feel like the 49ers still need some interior help. I know you signed Jake Brendel to a 4-year deal. The backup center may be actually on the roster. I do like Jake Andrews out of Troy. I feel like he'll fit the 49ers scheme very well. Kenny McIntosh is a running back that the 49ers may look to pick up. Payne Durham is still available. Can the 49ers possibly double up on the tight ends? Let's check the running backs. Let's go ahead and look at the running backs. Let's see who's available at running backs. All right. You got Kenny McIntosh, Evan Hull. Evan Hull, if you want the pass catching type of a guy that doesn't go down on first contact, he gives me Christian McCaffrey vibes. All right. He kind of has that resemblance. Same type of speed, same type of pass catch radius, same type of route running. Evan Hull out of Northwestern, so it's possible he'll be there. Kenny McIntosh can do the same thing. He did it on a bigger stage. He was in Georgia. Wasn't utilized much in Georgia as I wanted. So if you're going to go running back, it will probably be one of those two. Chris Rodriguez was a bigger back out of Kentucky as well. He performed well at the Senior Bowl. Let's go wide receiver, all right, because we're still in the fifth round. Fifth round wide receiver. Let's see who's available. You got my slot guy and Ronnie Bell, okay? How do you say his name? Keaton Thompson, I believe. No one's talking about Puka Nacua. Like, he's nice. He's nice. Demario Douglas, the player that I believe the Niners kind of like met with. There's some guys here. I think if I'm gonna go wide receiver. Whew, I like Ronnie Bell because he immediately, in my opinion, he replaces, if they choose not to extend, Ray McCloud, you get Ronnie Bell. He's a bigger catch radius, but he's a slot guy. And he gets open. I do like Bell there. I just want to see if there's any other players that I need to look. I see Stetson there. I see Jake Andrews there. We got an edge. We could double up on edge. Like I said, tough. It gets tougher when you get down to here because the question is like, who do you want? Who do you want? I'm gonna go with the center. I think I'm gonna get a center right here. No relation to Ricky Bell, Collie. Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. I'm just hoping my wide receiver is still gonna be there. Nope, he was gone. The Lions picked him up. Look at that. I told you. I be trying to tell y'all. Like, people, like, they don't go where they're supposed to get drafted. So I'm going back to the wide receiver position. I do like, so if we get this kid is huge. I'm talking like 6'4", 6'5". Huge body, 6'5", 216 from Virginia. I'm curious to know what his speed is. Do we replace a big body guy with another big body guy? You know what I mean? That would be, let me just check out his measurables. Yeah, there it is. I don't know how the 49ers, I do like this kid out of BYU. If I'm going to go wide receiver, I missed out on Ronnie Bell. I'm looking for that slot type of a guy. It's probably going to be Puka Nacua. So I might be reaching up to get him, but that's a wide receiver you're going to want to watch out for. I promise you. I see my safety, Javarius Owens, got taken as well. All right, here we go. We need a linebacker. I'm not trying to settle for just any old linebacker. The 49ers did meet with a couple of these linebackers. Mohamed Diabate would be one of them. They brought him in for a reason. He probably fits a certain bill. Since he's a 49ers guy, I'll probably, since there's as a person that they actually looked into, I possibly might bring him in. And then you fill in that extra linebacking role with a specific need. So I'm going to go ahead with Mohamed. And we're getting near to the end of this draft. We've drafted pretty much the positions. I felt like we went interior. Okay, we went edge. Let's see if we could double up on the edge. Now, the 49ers did meet with Tavius Robinson out of Mississippi. So he could be another person that they're looking into. Got a tackle. Don't necessarily need a guard. I don't think we need to draft a guard this year. Call me crazy, Eddie, but I just don't think we need a guard. All right. I don't mind. I don't think we need to double up at wide receiver. I think getting one guy at the wide receiver would be good. I wouldn't mind doubling up at safety, because if you want to challenge someone, like not challenge. I think he'll be there though. I'm gonna kind of wait. These last 3 picks, I know I'm gonna reach, but I'm gonna go get the guys that I feel like would make dope 49ers. Alex Austin would be one of them. There's your guy, Sim. Brandon Hill. If you want a thumper, somebody that's gonna ring your bell, this the dude. I'm gonna go ahead and get him. I'm gonna get Brandon Hill. We're gonna double up at safety. We got us a free and a strong safety in this particular draft. And guys can play in the slot as well. Let's see where we're going. I want to look at the running backs. I didn't address the running back position. We have 2 more picks. And I want to see if there's any running backs up here that I feel like. Now, the 49ers did meet with Cameron Peoples. If you want a speedier guy, this kid, Deneric Prince, might be the dude. I don't see any of these running backs that I think the 49ers would be high on. So they'll probably not draft a running back. I don't think they'll double up at the wide receiver position. I do see them doubling up on certain positions like the offensive line. We didn't address the guard position, but we can. I just wanted to see who was still available. I like Connor Galvin out of Baylor. Now, when you're drafting in the 6th or 7th round, you're drafting pretty much like prospects that are going to be somewhat projects. Okay? Somewhat projects. I really like the kid from Oregon State, Alex Austin. So I'm going to go ahead. He's going to be my last pick. I'm not drafting the kicker in this draft, guys. Woohoo! I don't think we have to. I think they'll end up becoming available. Let me double up on the edge. Let's go check edge again. I know a lot of people will not. Let's bring in the kid. Let's bring in the guy that the 49ers went and had a visit with. Let's bring in Tavius Robinson. And then let's end this draft with an outside corner. And I'm going to go with Alex Austin out of Oregon State. All right. And there we have it. Mock Draft 8.0 is in the books. Woo, I got a bunch of Fs. I got a C. That's cool though, but I like these picks. I'm telling you, these picks, I don't know how they grading, but I definitely love this. And probably where I drafted them was bad and who was available. It's got to be that. I like these picks. Not good grades, but I tell you what, I don't even know how I ended with a C, but I tell you what, I like these picks. I'm definitely going to get your feedback. I'm going to post this up to Twitter. Again, this is Mock Draft 8.0, and what a great show. Listen, guys, I'll be back on Wednesday. All right, I'll be back on Wednesday, so make sure you guys tune in. I do like Tank Dell. I do. Smaller kid, really small in the frame, 160, 70 pounds, if that, max. But, man, can he get open. And he plays big. He definitely plays big. You know what I'm saying? John says, I like to draft regardless of the grades. Me too. So do I. Guys, don't forget to join the Discord. All right. I promise you guys are going to love it over there. We talk more in depth about football, basketball, baseball, hockey. Like, it's all on there. So if you want just a great conversation with a great group of people, that's where you want to be. The link will be in the description of the show. You got to do is click on it at the end of the show. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. It's your boy, WayneBreezie. I will see you guys back here 11 a.m. on Wednesday. All right, make sure you guys tune in. Don't forget to check out all the shows tomorrow, tonight, Nitty Gritty Niners, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on this channel. All right, and then tomorrow, the John and Wayne Show. There's a whole bunch of shows on tomorrow, so make sure you guys keep y'all alert set to all and on. Love you guys. Stay up, stay faithful, and always keep it nitty gritty, baby. Thanks for watching.